things like this just don't happen to people all the, like ever. And it was kind of one of those points in your life where you're like, this, like, how is, like, when am I going to wake up, like, this is so unreal that it must just be a dream, There was really no chance for us because the bear is so much more powerful. There's a group of 7, right? And we were kind of down in this little gully, and Josh was hiking first, and I was second in line. And we came around this kind of like rock outcropping, and we both saw the bear. I saw the bear at the same time he did. And when it moved, basically that's when I first realized that it was there. And he turned around and shouted, bear. And I was like, and all the other kids didn't see it at that point, but they heard it growling and roaring and stuff, and then they heard us like screaming, and so they started running away, and I ran away too. It like growled, and then it just jumped on Josh, and it wasn't like a regular bear scenario where it's like 100 yards out and then it roars and then it charges or anything. It was just like immediate attack. The bear was on top of Josh for, I don't know, a while. Not more than a minute probably, but it seemed like forever. And I ran down the stream like 10 feet and then I fell over.
Okay.
And I still had my backpack on, and I think falling over really helped me out because when I fell over, I realized that like I shouldn't be running away, know. And so I got out of the stream, and I took my backpack off, and I just laid down in the bushes and like kept an eye on the bear and Josh. And the rest of the kids who were behind me started running up the side of the gully.
Okay.
And but the kid who was hiking third, who was Sam Gotzigan, he apparently, I mean, there's all these different viewpoints, but like, apparently he hadn't made it up the hill yet, and the bear left Josh and attacked him, and yeah, so like it mauled him, and then it went into the bushes from where I couldn't see it anymore.
Right.
So I looked up to the kids on the hill and I asked them, I mouthed them like, where is the bear,
Yeah.
And they were like, we don't know. They couldn't see it either. And so I assumed that the bear was gone just because, like you're not used, like we've been taught that like bears don't attack people in groups of 4 or more, And so it's just like, okay, this bear's probably saw everybody and got scared and ran away. That's what I was thinking. So I stood up and I started running to go help Josh out. And that's when the bear attacked me. So I think it was like the reason why the bear was, attacked so many of us was because it was so chaotic down there and like no one really knew what was going on, including the bear itself, and it didn't know how many of us there were. It didn't know like what was going to happen or anything. So I think, and I mean, it's just, you can't overemphasize either how fast bears move. Like, people, including myself up to that point, like, I had never imagined something like being able to move that quickly from one person to the next, or like from one place to the next. It just, grizzly bears can run at like 40 miles an hour, and this one was angry. I was really scared. I was scared that I was gonna die, one, and I was scared that if I didn't die, there weren't gonna be enough people who weren't injured enough to like take care of everybody, And I was scared that my friends were already dead. So after it let go of my side and stopped biting me, it reared up and was standing over me, like on its hind legs, and at that point, I was just like, I just closed my eyes and I was like, all right, this is it. But it like there was like this moment, and I thought I was gonna just come back down and start mauling me again, but it stood up, and I opened my eyes, and it looked back, and it was like looking back and forth. And I think what happened was it saw the 4 other kids who were on the hill, and it realized how many people were actually there, finally. And I think that realization made the bear begin to run away. After I was attacked, I sat up, and I put my hands on my head and felt my wound, and I was bleeding a lot, but Josh, who was attacked first, and he was attacked in the stream. So Josh had the beacon that we had to activate to send a signal out to the rescue agency or whatever.
Okay.
So immediately after I saw the bear run away, I stood up and ran the rest of the distance to him, and started talking to him, and realized he was alive. And then I retrieved his backpack out of the stream, and got the first aid kit out of it, and emptied the first aid kit right by him, and the beacon was in the first aid kit, and then I activated the beacon. And so that was like the most important step, I think. That was the only step really that we could take to become being rescued at that point. So, and then the rest of the time I think was spent not really taking steps being rescued, but taking steps to preserving his and Sam's life, and my own also. This is the main injury. It's basically like the bear hit my skull and like pulled out a flap of skin, basically. So I had like a flap on top of my head. I mean, I love backpacking, and I'm definitely going to keep doing it. Maybe not in Alaska, just because there's so many bears there.